Welcome to the Socialize forecast, Tuesday, January 7th. Happy New Year. I can officially say that on the first Monday of the first full week of the new year. That's when I really feel like things are kicking off because it's the work week has begun and we're in a whole new vibe. And I am ready for it. As a matter of fact, I kicked off the week with intention, like I said I was going to do. I don't know, remember if I said this on a podcast or just on a video or a story, but I'm going to dress with intention from head to toe every day. I'm going to do my best. And so today I'm in it. I had a meeting this morning. I was on Tamsin Fadal's Facebook group live. We had some fun just talking about social media and talking to her audience about how to create, how to get started, what you need to think about in order to be on social media if you're new to it. So that was a lot of fun, and it was a great way to kick off the new year. But instead of just dressing for the Zoom meeting from the chest up, I decided to do what I said I was going to do and put a full outfit together. So of course, then I was inspired to make a video about it because that's what I do. And that's a note to self. If you're doing something and you say, oh, I should share this, you should share this. Do it right in the moment. Open up your phone, no matter what you look like, what the lighting is or whatever, and just make that video. Because sometimes those are the videos that give you more engagement because they're more authentic. But I did kick off the new year and I started today by dressing from head to toe, even though I never even walked outside. So I put my whole outfit on. I was ready to change into snow boots because it is snowy here today. But I decided to just stay in and stay warm. And I'm still fully dressed as if I was going to a meeting. I kind of like it actually, because I'm wearing the clothes that are in my closet instead of just the same old jeans, whatever on the bottom, and then changing my top. So yay to that, and do something like that, because that's an easy New Year's resolution to do. It's not as overwhelming when you're going to do something and it becomes like you can't keep up with it, because this is like pretty easy in the morning. I'm just like intentionally making a full outfit. So that's number one I wanted to talk about. Number two is I think the people in the transition challenge are learning a lot. And one of the women commented when I said, you guys are doing great. And she wrote me, it's really, really helpful to exercise my brain with this stuff. And I was like, oh my God, I love that she said that, because now she's right. Like, I'm helping people learn a new skill and exercise their brain, because you're learning how to edit something that you didn't understand how it worked before. It feels so good. I never expected to enjoy the studio challenges as much as I am enjoying them. I love teaching, so I knew that I would like doing it. But I think what's more surprising to me is my reaction when I have, quote, students now being successful with their videos. It feels so good. I'm so proud. And I was immediately like, I'm going to start sharing these videos to my stories. So I've been sharing all the videos to my Instagram and TikTok stories. Number one, it's great because it's content for me. Number two, it's actually highlighting the people who are being successful and it's helping them get some engagement on their videos. And bonus number three, it is showing that anybody can learn this. Like, if you watch the people who are doing the videos and you might not think, oh, can that person actually do a video like this with a transition? Oh, yes, they can. And look at that. So I feel that it's also highlighting the skills of, or the benefit of what people are learning in the studio and in the challenges. So it's a trifecta win for me. I'm thrilled. Now let's talk about some funny trending things on social media that I am going to share, because I think a lot of times I end up in a very niche neighborhood of TikTok, and then I'll talk about it here, and then someone will comment on the podcast on the YouTube or whatever and say, I didn't know that. I'm so glad you told me. So there's a very funny niche thing going on right now. There's an account called Husband TikTok, I think is his name. I want to say his name is Steve. I'm not even sure, but he is in a little like TikTok battle with this other guy, a young kid called Landon Barker. And his TikTok, he's been popular and getting a lot of traction for his lip syncing a song as if he's the singer of the song by The Fray. And so Husband TikTok decided to poke fun at it, do a little funny. He's a very funny guy and he does a lot of lip sync videos. And he's picked up a quick following. And then he decided to make an amusing little video about imitating this kid. I can't even explain it. You have to watch it to see. I'll link it in the show notes. But that has turned into like a little battle. And every time I see people who are doing a trend, their comment will be, I'm the only one who's in this niche of TikTok and I'm loving it. And so it's really funny, the the way something starts creeping in as a trend. And so I'm here to tell you about it because I bet a lot of people in this podcast don't know about husband TikTok and the little battle between him and Landon Barker. In other news, something a little more common knowledge is the Dior bag TikTok. So this is Bethany Frankel has decided to brand, instead of talking about the drones that we're seeing in the sky, and because I guess her videos were being suppressed, she started naming the drones Dior bags. And that was her code. Brilliant, actually. And then she started talking about other things in the sky, and she's referring to them all as designer handbags. It is quite funny. And it's also the most unusual thing I've seen on TikTok, how people have just embraced. So now people it's mainstream almost on TikTok that when you see Dior bag TikTok, you know that the TikToks are about drones. Pretty funny. She's doing the same thing on Instagram, but I don't think Instagram suppresses the videos as much as they are being suppressed on TikTok. So that's a little funny thing. If you don't know about Dior bag TikTok, don't dive in too deep. Don't go down there, because I have been in deep, and sometimes I'm like laying awake at night thinking about it. You don't need to spend time on that. The last thing I want to talk about before I get into the trends is podcasts. And I would love if anybody has podcast recommendations of what they love listening to. Also podcasts that maybe would be helpful for me to be on to create awareness in social media. I don't know, where should I be a guest on a podcast? I'm invited often, but I have never looked for one that I think would be a good fit. So I would love to hear from you. And if you can either respond to this newsletter and just tell me what here's a podcast I listen to, I think you'd be a great fit. Or just in general, here's a great podcast I love to listen to, and here's why. You can do that, because I'd love to know. And I want to try and be a little more intentional about the types of, I think, appearances that I do as I move forward. Because I really just let the appearances come to me. I hear about things. I'm getting contacted all the time about this, presenting at this workshop, presenting at this conference, attending shows and things like that. I do that, but it's more reactive versus proactive. So I'm going to start doing more proactive reach outs to where I would like to be featured and see how that goes, because I think it could be fun. So that's going to be my little other thing for 2025 that I'm going to be more mindful about. My outfit from top to bottom and looking for the right collaborations. So help me. I'm looking to you for that. All right, let's talk trends. So there's some nice, easy ones, funny ones. I'm going to be quick about the trends because I know you can just click on them in the newsletter. I don't want to waste a lot of podcast time. But the first one is a quick, fun audio that you can use to show off when you're just about to say something and then you think twice about it. So it's a nice, easy lip sync. It's like, also, I don't know. And you stop yourself in your tracks. Lots of funny things you can do with that. Sometimes when you're going to say something to a customer and you think twice about it, or you're going to say something at work and you realize, okay, that won't be taken well, so I'm going to take it back. So that would be a fun one. The other one is called Two Sides. And this is so funny because a lot of guys are using this one. So if you're a guy and you're looking for something that's specific to men, this is a good one for you, but anybody can use it. It's really showing two sides of yourself where you're singing the first part of the song. You don't even have to lip sync it. You can just be listening to the first part of the song, and then swish. You can either put your hand to the camera and do a transition if you learned it in the transition challenge. And then you can just flip your glasses up and down to do a transition. Lots of transition opportunities for this one. So it's a good one to use if you've learned transitions. But the second part is when you're your other side of your personality. So first you're a cool dad and you're hanging out. And the second you're a dude with attitude. Okay. So that's an example. So you can use two sides of your personality on this one and work those transitions, baby, if you've learned them. If you missed out on that, you really need to get into the studio, because we're going to focus on transitions much more heavily for the rest of the month. And yay to that. All right, the Instagram trends. The first one is I need to calm down. And this was trending on TikTok very recently. So the trends are moving quickly over to Instagram. So you might want to hop on this one while you're feeling it. But it's a super fun, over-the-top lip sync. And it's about getting overly excited about something. And anyway, just take a look at it, click on it, and enjoy, because it's a nice, easy one. Especially if you're a dramatic person, you could get into something like that. And then the second Instagram trend, I guess I have challenge on the brain, is the 2024 awards. So one creator had a fun angle showing her recap of all the awards she gave herself, which is so cute and clever. So think about what awards you would give yourself for accomplishing things in 2024. I don't think this trend is going to go away that quickly because it's a little niche trend. So you can, hop on it. The audio works. It's like a nice music. And then it's another way to do a 2024 recap. So I highly recommend it. I think it's a way to celebrate and brag without being like talky about it, of saying like, I did this and I did that. It's like award for completing all, my perfect attendance at my fitness class last week, or whatever it is. Give yourself an award. Let's go for it. All right. Now a quick pit stop on this week in the Socialize studio, because I always have to mention it. We did have a really fun transition challenge. It was so good. I am so proud of everybody who is doing the videos, who is being bold and posting them, even when they're not necessarily in your niche. I am in awe of you. Some of them have blown my mind with your creativity. I have enjoyed it so much. So thank you for that, because I did not expect the studio and the challenge to feed me as much as it did. And I'm so, so grateful. And as always, this week, I'm putting through some content tips, and you'll be getting bonus trends and bonus ideas. So if you're in the studio, you'll be hearing from me, and I love it. We also have our Zoom meeting this week. We do a live Zoom every single week, cameras on, where you can ask questions and we talk about a topic. All right, on to original content ideas. The first one is to start your 2025 head turn transition. I have to do mine now that I think about it. I didn't do my first head turn yet, but I was planning to do it this week. I was waiting till I came back to the city, and I'm waiting for a day where it's not crappy out, snowing outside. I'm sure you have a lot more snow where you are than where I am, because it dried up pretty quickly right on the sidewalks, but it's not the best day to be outside. So I didn't go out and do my head turn transition today, but I am going to get to it this week. Check it out in the newsletter, and you can also find the tutorial. So that is the tutorial for this week, how to do a year-long head turn transition. And it's so easy to do. And let me tell you a few things about doing this. Number one, you will have a nice wrap-up video with no work. So when December comes and you're stressed out about the holidays, you will have your recap video. You won't have to create one. That's number one. Number two, you can see progress that happened. You can see how something physically changed on you. Maybe mine was how my hair grew over the past year. You might have people that change with Invisalign, or their makeup evolves, or whatever thing changes. The other way is to see what you've done each month, because you can move around and where you were each month and how your months changed. So there's lots of things that you can do. And it also can just be how you showed up every month. And so you can put a little title of what happened. And so it's just fun. It's fun. Trust me, this is like the best thing that I do every year, because at the end, I always have a very rewarding video. And people think it was so much work. So in the tutorial, I show you how not much work it is. And so watch the tutorial and try and do one. Try and stick with it this year. You don't even have to use the song I used if you don't want to lip sync. Just do another thing. Pick another song that you like and record a little bit of it every month. You'll thank me. You'll thank me in December. I promise you. Okay, now the next idea for you is to do New Year, new routine. And that means we're settling in, we have resolutions, maybe create a vlog or just a quick video talking about what you're changing, what your new routine is. You're off to a good start, and you're hoping that this is going to stick. That's why I'm making my videos about my outfits every day. I'm like determined. And if I hold myself accountable by sharing it with you, with my audience, then I am accountable. So thank you for being here for me for that. All right. So you can use a voiceover, explain your updates. You can put together an aesthetic video just with some trending music and a few titles. However you choose to do it in the style that you find most comforting and easy to get it done more quickly. That's the key to making content consistently, is making it easy for yourself so that you always do it. And it's not like a stress thing. And the third idea for this week is, it's a new year, so you might be picking up a new hobby. You know what I was thinking about doing this year? I haven't done it yet, but I was thinking. I watch Lauren Jumps. She has a jump rope app, and I'm pretty good at jumping rope, especially even for my age, because a lot of women my age don't like to jump. but I'm a jumper. I can still jump. I can run. I have like good physical skills in that way. So my knees don't hurt. So to me, I was thinking, man, I probably could learn how to do a little jump rope dancing. Maybe I should download that app. Maybe I should try it. So I'm pondering it. I'm floating it. I haven't tackled it yet. But if I decide I'm going to do it, I will be making content about it. And it's just a thought. So if you're taking on a new hobby of any kind and you say, okay, I'm going to start sharing about my new hobby, again, it does make you accountable if you make a decision to do it. And by the way, you can always stop. This is something I have to tell myself often when I go, I'm going to do this. I'm going to make this happen. And then if I fade out and I don't continue, do I have to feel bad about it? No, you don't. Just try it. You could always stop doing it. I don't know. I used to be much harder on myself and have to hold myself like, if I wrote it down, if I said it, I'm doing it. The fact is, if you say it and then you do it and then it doesn't give you, it either doesn't give you the joy, you're not enjoying it as much, you're finding it more of a pain to do than a help in your life, you can stop. No one's holding you accountable in a way that's going to make it miserable. Okay. You're only holding yourself accountable if you want to be. So share your hobby. Let's hear what you're doing. I want to see what's new, what's happening. What kind of things are you doing in your life? How have you changed your thinking? All right. So that's my recap for today. I have to say, Julie has stepped up and helped me so much in the last few weeks, especially with the newsletter and getting the content out there, because I used to spend so much time trying to find all the musics, and finally she's really stepping in to help me on that part of it. So we have some great music choices, and I'm excited because now I will get to go to the music choices that she's selected and see what she picked. Because usually I'm scrolling at night trying to do that at the last second. So she just said, why are you doing that? I'll help you do that. And that's why I love you, Julie, if you're listening. So go check out the music choices. I'm excited to check them out for myself. And I would like to get back to give me some questions. I would love to answer some newsletter questions. So people that are listening to this podcast or you have the newsletter, submit your questions in the newsletter so that I can answer. Because guess what? I'm answering all the questions in the studio now. I am on top of it. My peeps in there, my students, they're getting served. And I'm so happy to be able to be there for that. So each week when the questions are submitted here, I would love to answer your questions in the podcast. Okay. So I hope to hear from you. Have a fun week. I'll be back on Friday. We're going to hit the topic I think that everybody really requested. Hopefully we can get that done this week. I got to speak to my boss about it, AKA Julie. Julie, let's get on it so we can brainstorm together and get it all written down. All right. Thanks for being here. Have a great week. Mwah. Big hugs for the joyous new year that we're going to have. Here's to 2025. It started off a little rocky, but hopefully we're going to get through it. Okay. Bye.